You have been living through a long and bitter winter of the soul. My child, have you not a season so cold, so protracted, that the ground of your heart has been frozen solid by the frost of your wounds, and you have begun to believe that spring will never come for you again? You have looked upon the barren landscape of your life, the trees of your dreams stripped bare, the river of your joy frozen into a silent stillness, and a profound, chilling despair has settled upon your spirit. They, the world, have looked upon your long season of sorrow, and with their eyes that see only the surface weather, they have concluded that this is your new, permanent climate. The winter has claimed them. They may have whispered. And you, my beloved, feeling the deep, unrelenting cold in your very bones, you have come to believe them, fearing that you are destined to dwell forever in this land of ice and snow, this unending winter of your wounds. This has been more than just a passing cold spell, my precious one. It has been a deep and pervasive freeze, the warmth of easy laughter, the gentle heat of simple pleasures, the radiant sun of a hopeful heart. These have all seemed like memories from a distant and forgotten summer. Instead, your days have been characterized by a gray and muted light, and your nights have been long, dark, and filled with the biting winds of your pain. You have wrapped yourself in the thin blankets of your own endurance. You have huddled for warmth beside the dying embers of your own hope. But the cold has been too deep, too penetrating. It has chilled you to your very core. In this long winter, my child, a profound numbness has often been your only comfort. To feel the full, sharp pain of your wounds in the midst of this cold would have been unbearable. And so, your heart, in a sacred act of self-preservation, has learned to grow numb, to freeze its own capacity for deep feeling. But this numbness, while offering a measure of protection, has also been a source of your despair. For in numbing the pain, you have also numbed your capacity for joy. You have felt yourself to be living a half-life, a gray existence, going through the motions of your day without the vibrant color, the beautiful music of a heart that is truly, fully alive, and the world, with its love for the vibrant, fruitful seasons of spring and summer, has not known how to meet you in your winter. It values productivity, growth, visible blossoms, and in your season of fallow stillness, of hidden, frozen pain, it has often judged you as unproductive, as stagnant, as failing. It has urged you to snap out of it, to think positively, not understanding that you cannot command a frozen ground to suddenly produce flowers. Its impatience with your winter has only served to deepen your own sense of shame, your own feeling that your season of sorrow is a personal, spiritual flaw. This has been your deepest fear, my beloved, the fear that this winter is not a season, but a permanent state. The fear that the thaw will never come. The fear that the sun has forgotten your corner of the earth. The fear that the seeds of your future joy, buried deep beneath the frozen ground of your pain, will never have the chance to germinate, to grow, to blossom. You have looked at the icy landscape of your life and have concluded that this is it, that this is all there will ever be for you, a beautiful but tragic ice sculpture, a testament to a life that was once alive, but is now forever frozen in its pain. But I come to you now, my child, as you sit in the very heart of this profound and seemingly endless winter. I come to you as the Lord of all seasons, the one who commands the sun to rise, the one who holds the power to break the deepest of frosts, the one whose very presence is the warmth that brings the spring. And I am here to make a divine, world-altering, season-shifting declaration over your life. Listen to me, my beloved, and let the warmth of my words begin the first gentle thaw in your frozen heart. The long winter of your wounds is over. The time of your healing has come. You have believed that you are at the mercy of the seasons, but I am here to tell you that I am the one who sets the seasons of the soul. Your winter has been long. Yes, it has been painful, but it has not been without its own sacred purpose, a purpose you will soon come to understand. But its purpose is now complete. Its time is now over, and I, your God, who am sovereign over all things, I now declare a change in the spiritual atmosphere of your life. The frost must now recede. The ice must now begin to break. The sun of my grace must now begin to shine with a new and victorious warmth, for I have decreed it. The season has turned. The time of your healing has come. Do not look at your present circumstances and doubt my word. My child, the outward signs of winter may still be all around you, but the shift has already begun in the unseen realm. In the very core of your being, I am breathing a new, warm breath upon your spirit. I am sending the life-giving rays of my love into the frozen soil of your heart. And even now, deep beneath the surface, a miraculous thawing is beginning. The seeds of your new life, which have lain dormant for so long, are now beginning to awaken. Let go of your resignation to the winter. My precious one, let this divine declaration be the first crack in the ice of your hopelessness. The power that has held you in this frozen state has been broken by my word and the power of my restorative, life-giving, and healing love is now the new and dominant reality of your life. Do not be afraid. The time of your healing has not just been hoped for, it has been decreed. It is not just a possibility, it is a certainty. For I, the Lord of the spring, I have spoken, and the time of your healing has come. Yes, my precious child, as my declaration that your time of healing has come begins to echo in the quiet, frozen landscape of your soul, you must now understand the profound authority from which this declaration is made. You have believed yourself to be a helpless victim of the seasons of your life, a fragile plant at the mercy of a long and cruel winter, with no power to change the climate of your own experience. But you have misunderstood who is in control, for I am not a mere observer of the seasons. My beloved, I am the Lord of the seasons. It is I who command the winter to come, and it is I who command it to go. It is my voice that calls forth the spring, that summons the sun, that orders the ice to melt and the frozen ground to yield to new life. The turning of your season is not a matter of chance or of time alone. It is a matter of my sovereign, powerful, and loving decree, and I, the Lord of all seasons, I declare to you now, with all the authority of my being, the long winter of your wounds is over. Your time of healing, the glorious springtime of your soul, has now officially begun. For so long, The winter has seemed to be the supreme power in your life. Its cold has been so penetrating, its darkness so absolute, that you have believed it to be an unconquerable force. But your winter has no power of its own, my child. It has only the power and the duration that I, in my wisdom, have permitted for it. It has been a necessary season, a purposeful season, as you will come to understand, but its authority was always a delegated authority, its reign a temporary one. And now, I, the higher authority, the true king of your life's climate, I am revoking its commission. I am speaking a word that the very elements of your spiritual world must obey. To the frost of your numbness, I say, melt. To the ice of your frozen heart, I say, break. To the biting winds of your sorrow, I say, cease. And to the dormant seeds of your hope, I say, awaken. It is time to grow. My word, my child, is a creative force. When I speak, reality itself must realign to conform to my declaration. You may still see the lingering evidence of winter around you. There may still be patches of snow upon the ground of your circumstances. You may still feel a residual chill in the air of your emotions. But do not be dismayed by this. You must learn to trust my declaration more than you trust your present evidence. The turning of a season is a process, but the decree that initiates that process is an instantaneous and absolute event. And that decree has been made. The power of the winter has been broken. The authority of the spring has been established. And the process of your thawing, your healing, your glorious new growth is now an unstoppable, irreversible, and magnificent reality. I am the Lord of the seasons. This means that your life is not a random series of chaotic weather patterns. It is a divinely orchestrated sequence of seasons, each with its own sacred purpose in your journey of becoming. I was with you in the joy of your summer. I was with you in the beauty of your autumn. And I have been with you, most intimately of all, in the deep, quiet, and formative stillness of your long winter. I have not been absent. I have been overseeing the deep, hidden work that could only be accomplished in this very season, the strengthening of your roots, the resting of your soil, the development of a resilience that will now enable you to burst forth with a new and more glorious life. And now, because that preparatory work is complete, I, the Lord of the seasons, am joyfully, powerfully, and authoritatively calling forth your spring. Let this knowledge fill you with a new and profound sense of peace. You are not at the mercy of a meaningless fate. You are in the hands of a loving and purposeful God who is the master of every season of your life. The difficult season you have endured was not a sign of my abandonment, but a necessary part of my perfect, loving plan. And the new season of healing you are now entering is not a random stroke of good fortune, but a direct, intentional, and powerful act of my grace on your behalf. Your part now, my beloved, is to cooperate with the new season. You must begin to think like a child of the spring, not a child of the winter. You must consciously turn your face toward the new, dawning sun of my healing grace. Even if its warmth feels faint at first, you must begin to water the soil of your heart with expectation, with hope, with the belief that new life is indeed stirring beneath the surface. You must align your faith not with the memory of the long freeze, But with the new and powerful reality of my divine decree, the winter is over. The time of healing has come. This declaration is my promise, my power, and your new reality. The old season of your wounds has served its purpose and is now passing away. And a new season, a season of gentle thawing, of vibrant new growth, of beautiful blossoming, a season of profound and glorious healing, is now, by the very word of the Lord of all seasons, breaking forth in your life. Believe it. My child, receive it, for it is true. Your spring has arrived, and so, my cherished child, as you begin to stand in the authority of my divine declaration, as you start to believe that the season of your life has truly turned and that your time of healing has now come, let me draw you into a deeper wisdom concerning the very season that is now passing. For I know that a part of your heart still looks back upon the long, cold winter of your wounds and asks, why was it necessary? Why such a long and painful season of frozenness, of barrenness, of seeming death? I hear this question, my beloved, and I desire to answer it not with a simple explanation, but with a profound revelation that will redeem your past suffering and fill your heart with an awe for my loving. Intricate ways for your long winter. My child, was not a meaningless affliction, nor was it a sign of my abandonment. It was a necessary and sacred fallow season, a time I permitted to allow the very ground of your soul to rest, a period for deep, unseen work to be done, all to prepare the soil of your heart for the magnificent, vibrant, and fruitful new life of the spring I am now calling forth. A foolish farmer, my child, would work his fields without ceasing, demanding a constant harvest, never allowing the ground a season of rest, and for a time, he might produce a crop, but soon the soil would become depleted, its nutrients exhausted, its substance weary, until it could no longer bring forth anything of value, becoming a barren and useless wasteland. But a wise farmer understands the sacred rhythm of the seasons. He knows that after a long season of growth and harvest, the ground must be allowed to rest. He knows the vital importance of the fallow season, the winter, where the field lies quiet, seemingly unproductive, under a blanket of snow. For the wise farmer knows that it is in this very stillness, this apparent inactivity, that the soil is being replenished, restored, and prepared for an even greater, more abundant harvest in the spring to come. So it has been with you. My beloved, you may have come into the season of your wounding already weary from a long period of your own striving, your own producing, your own giving. The soil of your soul was depleted. And so, in my loving wisdom, I have allowed this winter, I have allowed the frost of your trial to come and to bring an end to the former season of activity, to enforce a sacred and necessary rest upon your spirit. You have looked upon this stillness, this lack of outward fruitfulness, and have judged it as a failure, as a sign of your own barrenness. But I, your divine farmer, I have seen it as a season of profound restoration, a time where my grace has been like a quiet, nourishing snow, gently blanketing the ground of your heart, seeping deep into its substance, replenishing its spiritual nutrients, restoring its vitality, preparing it for the glorious new growth that is now to come. This winter has not been a time of your death. My child, It has been a time of your deep and necessary rest, and in this fallow season, my precious one, a magnificent and hidden work has been taking place beneath the frozen surface. On the surface, all has seemed still, lifeless, but deep within the earth of your soul, your spiritual roots, in their desperate search for the living water of my presence, have been forced to go deeper than ever before. In the easy seasons of spring and summer, when the rains of blessing are plentiful on the surface, roots have little incentive to grow deep. But when the surface freezes over, when all the shallow sources of sustenance are gone, a plant, in order to survive, must drive its roots down, 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 through the hard, resistant layers of the soul, until it finds the deep, hidden, and ever-flowing river of its true life source. This is what has been happening in you. My child, this winter has forced you past all your superficial dependencies, your dependence on your own strength, on the approval of others, on your comfortable circumstances. It has compelled you to send the roots of your faith, of your very being, deep into the bedrock of who I am. And in doing so, you have developed a root system of such profound strength, of such tenacious grip upon me, that you are now anchored in a new and unshakable way. The life that will now spring forth from you will be a life that is not easily withered by a future drought, not easily overthrown by a future storm, for it will be a life that is drawing its sustenance not from the shallow surface, but from the eternal, inexhaustible river of its God. This winter, which felt like a season of your stagnation, has, in truth, been your season of your most profound and powerful growth. The frosts of this winter have also served a purifying purpose. My beloved, the ground of your heart may have had weeds growing alongside the good plants, the weeds of a subtle pride, of a hidden fear, of an unhealthy attachment. And the hard frosts of your trial, though painful, have been my merciful instrument for killing off these life-choking weeds at their very root. This has been a purifying work, a clearing of the soil, so that when the new spring comes, the life that grows will be a pure, holy, and unhindered expression of my own spirit within you. I am a loving and patient farmer, my child, and I have been watching over you in this fallow season with a tender and purposeful eye. I have understood your sorrow. I have honored your waiting, and all the while, my heart has been filled with a joyful anticipation, for I have held the vision of the magnificent spring that I knew this winter was preparing you for. So when you look back upon this long and difficult season, my child, see it now with this new and beautiful understanding. It has not been a wasted time. It has not been a meaningless suffering. It has been a sacred, purposeful, and absolutely necessary winter, a holy fallow season that has rested your weary soul, that has driven your roots deep into me, and that has purified the very ground of your being. It has been the perfect, loving, and wise preparation for the magnificent time of healing, of new life, of glorious, abundant fruitfulness that has now, by my own divine decree, finally, wonderfully, and irrevocably come. And so, my cherished child, having understood the sacred and necessary purpose of your long winter, having rested in the knowledge that I, the Lord of the seasons, have now decreed the coming of your spring, I invite you to become an attentive and joyful observer of the miracle that is now beginning to unfold within you. For my declaration that the time of healing has come is not a distant promise, but an active, present reality, and even now, the first signs of this new season, the first evidence of this glorious thaw are beginning to manifest in the landscape of your soul. You must learn to look for them, my beloved, to recognize them, to cherish them, for they are the first tender green shoots of your restoration, the beautiful, undeniable proof that the winter is indeed breaking, and that a new and vibrant life is returning to your heart after so long in the deep freeze of your trial. This first thaw may be a subtle and gentle thing. Do not look for a sudden, violent shattering of all your old pain. No, my child, the coming of my spring is often a quiet and gradual miracle. You will feel it first, perhaps, as a new softness in the very soil of your heart, the ground that has been frozen solid for so long, hard and impenetrable with its grief and its defenses, will begin, in some small, almost imperceptible way, to yield. You may find a new tenderness within you, a vulnerability that you have not felt in a very long time. A memory may arise that once would have been met with a wall of numb denial, but which now evokes a gentle, cleansing tear. This, my child, is the first thaw of a healing heart. It is a sign that my warming grace is beginning to penetrate the frozen layers of your pain, making your heart soft, pliable, and ready once more for a new growth. And from this softened ground, my beloved, you will begin to see the first tiny green shoots of a new hope. This is a hope that is different from your old summer optimism. It is a more humble, more tender, more miraculous thing. It is the hope of a crocus, bravely pushing its way through the last of the snow. You may experience it as a fleeting thought that is not tinged with your old despair. You may find yourself, for the first time in a long while, looking to the future, not with dread, but with a tiny, flickering spark of curiosity, of wonder. What might God do next? Your heart may quietly ask. Cherish this small, green shoot of hope. My child, it is a thing of immense power, for it is the very life of my own spirit, which has been lying dormant deep within you throughout the long winter. Now, finally, gloriously, breaking through into the light, you will also begin to feel the first lessening of the old, chronic pain. My precious one, the ache that has been your constant companion, the deep chill in your bones, will begin to lose some of its intensity. There will be moments, then hours, and eventually days, where you will suddenly realize that you are not in as much pain as you used to be. A new and gentle peace will begin to steal into your awareness, a quiet that is not the dead stillness of your frozen winter, but the living, hopeful quiet of a spring morning. This is the healing balm of my presence, my love, my grace, beginning to do its deep and restorative work, soothing the inflammation of your old wounds, bringing a new and beautiful sense of well-being to your soul. This is the first taste of your wholeness, my child, a promise of the complete health and vitality that is to come. I, your God, am the sun of your new spring, my beloved. It is the warmth of my love, the light of my truth, the energy of my life that is causing this magnificent thaw within you as you continue to consciously turn your face towards me, as you open your heart to receive my presence. You are cooperating with the coming of your spring. You are allowing my light and my warmth to penetrate more deeply. to accelerate the melting of the old ice, to encourage the growth of the new life. I delight in these first signs of your healing, my child, with a joy that is boundless. Every new shoot of hope, every moment of new peace, every sign of your returning life is a cause for celebration in all of heaven. I, your divine gardener, behold the first signs of life in this garden. I have so long and so patiently tended throughout the winter, and my heart is filled with a triumphant, joyful love. So, my beloved, become a tender and attentive observer of your own inner landscape. Look for the signs of the thaw. Celebrate the first green shoots of your new hope. Give thanks for the first moments of your new peace. For these are not an illusion. They are the tangible, beautiful, and miraculous evidence that my word is true, that the season has indeed turned, that the long winter of your wounds is over, and that the glorious, life-giving, and beautiful time of your healing has now, most certainly, come. And so, my cherished child, as you begin to witness the miraculous first thaw within your soul, as you see the tender green shoots of your new hope and your new peace bravely pushing their way through the last of the winter's frost, a new and beautiful invitation is extended to you. For I, the divine gardener, who have declared this new season of healing and have planted the seeds of your restoration, now invite you to become my joyful and active co-laborer in the beautiful work of tending the garden of your own heart. Your cooperation in this new season, my beloved, is vital, and for it is through your loving attention, your gentle protection, and your faithful nurturing of this new growth that the full and abundant harvest of your healing will be brought forth. The first and most important practice in tending this new garden, my child, is to give your attention to the new life. For so long, your gaze has been fixed upon the barrenness of the winter landscape, upon the frozen ground of your wounds. But now, you must consciously, deliberately, shift your focus. You must become a treasure hunter in your own soul, searching for and celebrating every sign of new growth, however small. When you feel that flicker of hope, do not dismiss it. Pause, acknowledge it, and thank me for it. When you experience a moment of unexplainable peace, do not pass over it quickly. Savor it. Rest in it. Let its beauty register deeply within your spirit. This act of paying attention to the new life is like a gardener who, upon seeing the first sprouts, gets down on their hands and knees to admire them, to celebrate their arrival. Your focused, grateful attention is a form of spiritual sunlight, my child, and it will encourage these tender new shoots to grow with a greater strength and a more vibrant vitality. Secondly, my beloved, you must learn to water this new growth with your faith. A new seedling is a fragile thing, and it needs a consistent supply of water to develop strong roots. So it is with the new hope and peace that are sprouting within you. And the water they require is your faith. This means choosing to believe in the reality of your healing, even on the days when your feelings may still feel a bit wintry. It means watering the shoots of hope with the promises from my word, reminding your soul of what I have declared to be true. When a feeling of the old despair arises, you can consciously choose to water your garden with faith by saying, "No, that is the old season. My new season of healing has come. I choose to believe in the new life that my God is bringing forth." every time you make this choice. My child, every time you choose to believe my promise over your feeling, you are providing a life-giving drink to the thirsty roots of your own restoration. And as you tend this garden, my child, you must also be a vigilant protector of this fragile new life. For though the winter's power has been broken, there may still be sudden, unexpected frosts, a difficult memory, a fresh disappointment, a critical word from another that can threaten to damage these tender new shoots. Your role as the gardener is to learn to protect your new growth from these old frosts of doubt and fear. How do you do this? You do so by covering your heart with the truth. When a cold wind of a negative thought blows, you consciously cover the seedling of your hope with the warm blanket of my promise. When you feel the chill of an old fear returning, you build a small wall of remembrance around your new peace, reminding your soul of the healing you have already experienced. This is not an act of denial, but an act of wise, loving, and necessary protection, a sacred guardianship of the new and beautiful work that I'm doing within you. And part of tending this garden, my precious one, is the gentle work of weeding for the old, familiar weeds of your former season, the weeds of self-pity, of bitterness, of a victim mentality, will surely try to spring up again and to choke out the new, holy plants of my grace. You must become a diligent weeder of your own heart. When you find a thought of resentment taking root, gently, lovingly, with my help, pull it up and replace it with a seed of forgiveness. When you see the familiar weed of self-condemnation beginning to sprout, remove it and plant in its place the beautiful flower of your acceptance in me. This daily, patient work of tending the soil of your heart, of removing that which would hinder the new life, is a vital part of your cooperation with me, your master gardener. I am with you always in this beautiful work. My child, I am the very sun that provides the light and the warmth for all growth. I am the very source of the living water that nourishes the roots. And my spirit is your constant companion, your wise and gentle teacher, who will guide you in the sacred art of tending your own healing heart. When you feel weary, I will be your strength. When you do not know how to handle a particular weed or a sudden frost, I will give you my wisdom. We are partners in this, my beloved, and our shared labor in this beautiful garden of your soul is a source of my profound and constant delight. So, my child, embrace your new role. You are no longer the helpless victim of a barren winter. You are now the joyful, hopeful, and purposeful tender of a magnificent spring garden. Give your attention to the new life. Water it with your faith, protect it with my truth, and weed it with my grace. And as you do, you will be astonished at the beauty, the strength, the vitality, the glorious and abundant fruitfulness that will emerge from the very ground you once believed was destined to be barren forever. For the time of your healing has indeed come, and the garden of your heart is beginning to blossom. And so, my precious child, as you faithfully partner with me in the beautiful, sacred work of tending the garden of your heart, as you nurture the new life that has sprouted and protected from the lingering frosts of the past, the gentle warmth of your healing spring begins to give way to a new and even more glorious season. The tender shoots, having been so lovingly cared for, now grow into strong and vibrant plants, their leaves unfurling in the fullness of a new life. This My beloved, is the arrival of the summer of your soul, a season of magnificent warmth, of abundant fruitfulness, and of a radiant, vibrant wholeness, and that stands in glorious contrast to the cold, barren desolation of the winter you have left behind. The spring was a season of hope, a promise of the first signs of life. But the summer, my child, is a season of fulfillment, of abundance, of the beautiful, mature reality of a life that has been completely, gloriously healed. Remember the deep, pervasive chill of your long winter. That cold has now been replaced by the deep, abiding warmth of a soul that is filled with my love. This is not just the hopeful warmth of a distant sun, but the full, radiant heat of a midsummer's day, a warmth that has permeated the very soil of your being, a warmth that now radiates from you to bring comfort and life to those around you. You have become a source of my warmth, a beautiful expression of my own loving heart in a world that is so often cold. And remember the barrenness of your winter landscape. My beloved, the frozen ground, the empty branches, the feeling that nothing could ever grow from you again. Look now at the garden of your soul. It is no longer a barren field, but a lush, vibrant, and magnificently fruitful orchard. The seeds of my grace that were planted in your softened heart have now grown into beautiful, mature trees, and they are heavy with the glorious fruit of my own spirit. Behold the beautiful, ripe fruit of a new and profound love. This is not the fearful, self-protective love of a wounded heart, but the generous, open-hearted love of a soul that knows it is secure in me. It is a love that can now be given away freely, for you know, your source is infinite. This is the fruit that will nourish the starving hearts of those around you, a testament to the God who can bring forth such sweetness from a soil that was once so bitter, and taste the sweet, sun-ripened fruit of a resilient joy. This is not the fragile blossom of a spring day, but the deep, abiding gladness of a long, sun-filled summer. It is a joy that has been tested, that has known sorrow, and has emerged not only intact, but deeper, richer, more authentic. This joy will be your strength, a beautiful, life-giving fruit that you can share with a world that is so often starved for a reason to be glad. See also the strong, beautiful fruit of your peace. My child, it is the peace of a soul that is at rest, that is whole, that is dwelling in the sanctuary of my presence. It is a peace that provides a cool and welcome shade for the weary. Anxious souls I will bring to rest under the branches of your life. This is the fullness of a summer soul. My beloved, a life that is warm with my love, that is fruitful with my character, that is vibrant with my life. This is the beautiful, glorious harvest that has been produced from the very ground you once believed was cursed. The long, painful winter was not the end of your story. It was the necessary preparation for this magnificent, life-giving, and gloriously fruitful summer. My delight as your divine gardener, my child, is to walk with you through this beautiful orchard of your soul. My heart is filled with joy as I behold the magnificent fruit that has been born from your journey of healing. Your life has become a beautiful testament to my restorative power, a glorious display of my capacity to bring an abundant harvest from the most desolate of grounds. So, my beloved, I invite you to enjoy your summer, rest in its warmth, delight in its fruitfulness, and share its abundance generously, for the time of your healing has indeed come, and it has brought with it a season of such vibrant, fruitful, and glorious life that it will be a source of your joy and my glory for all your days. And so, my cherished child, as you learn to walk in the warmth and the fruitfulness of your soul's new summer, as you delight in the beautiful, healed life that is now yours, let this final and most magnificent promise become the very sun of your new reality, the eternal truth that will sustain you for all of your days to come, the glorious season of healing you have entered, my beloved, is not a temporary reprieve, not a fleeting summer that will one day yield again to a bitter winter. No, my child, the healing I have brought to you, the new life that has sprung forth from your wounds, is the beginning of an everlasting springtime in your soul. And my promise to you is this: I will forever be your constant source of life, of healing, and of restoration. The deep, soul-freezing winter of your past is over, forever, and you will now dwell eternally in the gentle, life-giving, and ever-blossoming springtime of my grace. The fear of a returning winter may still be a shadow in your heart. My child, having known such a profound and prolonged season of cold and barrenness, a part of your spirit may remain anxious, ever watchful for the first signs of a new frost. But I'm here to utterly banish that fear from your being. The old winter had its purpose. It was a necessary fallow season that prepared the ground of your heart, that forced your roots deep into me. But its work is now complete. And because of the profound work that was done in that winter, you are no longer the same person. Your foundations are deeper now. Your spirit is more resilient. And your connection to me, your eternal Son, is now your conscious, chosen, and abiding reality. You will never again be as vulnerable to the cold as you once were. This does not mean that your earthly life will be free from all future challenges or sorrows. There may be passing clouds that temporarily obscure the sun. There may be sudden, chilly winds of new trials, but these will no longer have the power to bring a deep and lasting winter to your soul, for you now carry the springtime within you. My own spirit, the very essence of life and renewal, has taken up permanent residence in the garden of your heart, and his presence is an eternal inner sun, a constant source of warmth and light that can never be extinguished. Even if the world around you should grow cold, you will carry within you a divine and unshakable warmth. Even if the circumstances of your life should seem dark, you will possess a radiant inner light. My commitment to you, my precious one, is to be your eternal gardener, your constant source of life. I will continually water the garden of your soul with my living water. I will continually pour the sunlight of my love upon you. I will continually tend to the new life that I have planted, ensuring that it grows ever stronger, ever more beautiful, ever more fruitful. Your part is simply to remain in me, to keep your heart open to me, to continue to cooperate with the beautiful, life-giving rhythms of my grace. This is your new and everlasting reality, my child, a life of perpetual healing, of constant renewal, of an unending springtime. The old cycle of wounding and despair has been broken forever, replaced by a new and glorious cycle of grace, of growth, of ever-increasing life. Live, then, my beloved, in the joyful reality of your eternal spring. Let go of all fear of a returning winter, It has no more power over you. You are a child of the new creation, a soul whose very nature has been transfigured by my healing love. Walk in the warmth of my presence. Delight in the new life that is constantly springing forth within you, and be a beautiful, fragrant, and life-giving garden in a world that is so often barren and cold. Your healing has not just been a momentary event, it has been a change of your very spiritual climate. And the season of your soul is now, and will forever be, a glorious and everlasting springtime. And now, my cherished one, as you rest in the gentle, life-giving warmth of your soul's new and everlasting spring, let your spirit be utterly at peace. The long, cold winter of your wounds is a distant memory, its purpose fulfilled, its power broken forever. You are now a new creation, a beautiful garden where my life, my love, and my joy will blossom for all eternity. Rest in this. My beloved, feel the sun on your face. The time of your healing has come, and it will never end.